and welcome to Bo Beats, and in this video I want to talk about and show you one of my favorite new features on the Analog 4 MK2, and that's the CV and expression pedal inputs. So in this video I'll walk you through how to set it up, and I'll play you a couple of demos and show you what you can actually do with it. So hopefully you'll find that entertaining. If you do, please hit the little like button. The Analog 4 MK2 has two inputs for either CV or expression pedals. You can basically set either up to work with CV control voltages or with an expression pedal. So in the demo you just saw, I actually had the Mother 32 and the Matrix boot sending CV into the two different inputs, and in turn they affected different modulation sources on the Analog 4 MK2. To set it up on the Analog 4 MK2, you start off by going into the settings menu, you scroll down through the menu and you choose control inputs 1 or 2 depending on which you want to edit. Once you're in that setup, you can choose between CV or expression pedal. For an expression pedal, you have to press yes in order to set it up, and then it prompts you to actually use the pedal, and then it's pretty much set up. In the CV menu instead you have voltages for the minimum value and the max value. Next up you go into the kit menu and you scroll down to control in, and you choose either 1 or 2 depending on which one we have set up. So in this example here I have set up number 1 here to be an expression pedal. As you can see, there's a 0 value, and if I would have pressed the pedal it would have increased to a maximum value. And in this setup here, it's, as you can see, every channel there says T1 is set up to track 1, so basically all modulation will affect track 1. And if I go back here and go into control 2, you can see that there's some action going on. And as you can see, the values goes up and down, and that corresponds to the wave shape of the LFO. Now this isn't of course anything new, that's basically how an LFO works. As you can see here, it goes very steadily from a low to a high value. But if we go to the Matrix boot and we change the rate and we change the type on the LFO, you'll see a difference in how it's affecting the macro. So we could take, for example, a ramp LFO, for example, and then it would look something like this. As you can see, the value is going slowly up and then down very quickly. But if we switch it to random, you'll see something quite different. You see the values jumping about a lot more randomly, of course. To set up macro, you basically use the top knobs in order to change the channel, and you can affect any channel. The 4 normal channels, the FX channel and the CV channel. Basically all the normal performance macro functions are available, and you just scroll the knob to select a value, select a destination, something you want to affect, and then you use the second row of knobs to increase or decrease the value. That's how you set it up. So let me show you how you can set it up and affect something on the Analog 4 MK2 here. Basically on the Matrix boot here we have the mod menu here. I go from LFO 2 here to the LFO mouse output, press it, assign it. And on the kit I'm working from, I have this sound over here. Or maybe I can tone it down a little bit and we can just listen to the sound. The sound sounds like this. And what I want to do is I want to apply the LFO here to the sound. And if we go into kit menu and we go down to the control in, or sorry, the control 2, the control input number 2, I basically set it so that the LFO here will impact 5 different things, and that's the max. You can impact 5 destinations here per CV input. And you can assign them to any of the tracks, to the track 1, 2, 3, 4, the FX and CV tracks. So basically it's the same destinations as any performance macro. Yeah, basically it's a performance macro, but from the CV input. And yeah, so it's going to detune the sound, affect the filter, and affect the reverb a little bit and so on. So let's see what we can do with it. And as you can hear, that's a random LFO that impacts the detuning and the filters. But we can go for, say, a ramp instead. I'm turning the rate knob here. If we go back to random, so as you can see, it works pretty nicely. It does add a lot of flexibility to what you can do to the sound. Of course, you can achieve similar things that we just heard with the internal LFOs on a track. But this is, of course, this is something. For example, when I'm playing here, I can play something, and I can use the LFO here on the matrix boot to affect the sound in real time while I'm playing, and have those additional controls. And of course, that adds to a sort of to a more hardware-based workflow. So of course you can set it up inside of the box itself with the LFOs per track. But maybe you want to add something different. Maybe you want to add an LFO from an external piece of hardware that you don't got inside of the Analog 4 Mark II, or you just want additional control over the sound with, for example, these buttons here on the matrix boot. So yeah. So that's the second source of control. I have this pedal here. It's a Moog pedal. They're actually quite affordable. And this is connected to the same inputs on the Analog 4 Mark II as the CV, but you have to set it up to be an expression pedal, but that's super simple. And this is actually set up to increase vibrato and reverb and delay on a sound, and also affect the filter. So let's listen to a sound without the pedal and with the pedal. No pedal, and we increase. So with inputs for CV and expression pedals, you do have a layer of control over the sound that you previously didn't, and I think that's a strong selling point for the Analog 4 Mark II.